Hello everyone. So this is Ashwin Goyal from IIT Ropar, and we are submitting the case solution for the EY CAFTA case challenge under the managing cash and investments stream. Let's hop on to the investment strategy. So we've used various parameters. We've used a lot of parameters to develop the best portfolio, the best investment portfolio possible. So we've of course used the historical returns. We've used volatility. We've calculated Sharpe ratio. We've calculated alpha. We've tried to diversify our portfolio. We've also taken into account the exit load of various investment instruments. Then, of course, the funding requirements of the company, yield to maturity, liquidity, and other parameters. So, in a sense, we've got very good results if we consider the average portfolio returns, or maybe the Sharpe ratio and other parameters. So, we've tried to create the best possible investment strategy, and these are some of the reasons why we've invested in different investment instruments. And not going into much detail here, I would like to show you the investment portfolio. We've tried to we've so these are the allotments, and these are the reasons that why we've invested in each product. We'll be attaching this with the final submission. Um, so answering the benchmarking question, we believe that the GSEC is the best possible benchmark considering the options given to us. Although it might not generate an alpha that is in 6 months, that is an alpha in 6 months. Yeah. So essentially, the GSEC might not give a very good return in 6 months, since it gives return over a 10-year period. And there are, of course, disadvantages to choosing the GSEC, but considering the fact that the return of the 10-year GSEC is quite low as compared to the combined return of our portfolio, and that is because all of our assets give a higher return, and we've optimized the risk in the best possible manner. Also, inflation might be a better measure for benchmark, of course, but no one considers inflation as a benchmark, of course, because of volatility and because of the variations and all. So now let's hop on to the Power BI that we've created. Essentially, I've tried to use various parameters here. We've used credit rating to analyze the investment portfolio. We've used the exit load. We've used the time period, and of course the excess return alpha, and the portfolio returns, historical returns that we've been given, and other parameters. So, for example, in the first part of this dashboard, we've arranged the investment products according to the amount invested as well as the credit rating of these products. In the second part, we've tried to organize the portfolio returns and the excess return according to the investment products. And in this part, we've tried to arrange the investment products according to the time period and the total return for various time periods. So, for example, I select HDFC Credit Risk Debt Fund, and so it will automatically show the amount invested and the exit load for that investment, and the excess returns as well as the portfolio returns. We might select HDFC Gold ETF, that will again show the amount invested, the portfolio returns, the exit load, and so on. So this dashboard helps us to analyze it much better than using simple technology tools.
So hi everyone, this is Ankur this side, and as my friend Ashwin already explained, the different distribution of funds across all the available investment products. I'm going to explain the technology stack that we use, the tools and technology in our portfolio. Now the first one is Excel. You can see all the investment products that we had included in our portfolio, the amount invested in them, and the return rates are included in this Excel. And we have calculated alpha for every separately for every investment product, and we have used these formulas to calculate the average return, standard deviation, or risk or volatility. These are the same things: mean alpha and Sharpe ratio. Now, if you notice, the average return of complete portfolio is 8.11%, and Sharpe ratio is 0.3. Now, the Sharpe ratio is not very great. This is due to the fact that we have included the short-term investments, and in short term, these investments have to be liquid, and also their return rates are not that high. On the counterpart, the risk factor remains same in short term and long term. The risk factor doesn't vary much. However, the return rates vary a lot in short term and long term. So this point is justified when we have included the investment products that have tenure of greater than 6 months. We can see the Sharpe ratio is 1.01, and this Sharpe ratio is very good. Any Sharpe ratio above 1 is considered good, and that means our portfolio is stable and performing good in long term. Python code that we included in our project, so we could optimize our portfolio. First of all, we made an asset array and included all the available asset options. You can see HDFC liquid fund, overnight fund, and all these fund options available. So then we created a weights array and distributed random weights to the available options. And we imported the data from Yahoo Finance, and this code works on the live data that was imported from Yahoo Finance. And then we created covariance matrix. Now we derived that the initial weight distribution led us to return of 3%, risk was 11%, and annual variance was 1%. And then we imported the library in Python, that is PyPortfolio Opt. We were able to optimize a portfolio that gave us the return of 4.9%, and the Sharpe ratio was 17.81. Now the Sharpe ratio is incredible. So after the optimization of risky investment products, we got a fair idea of how much to invest in which product. For example, 0.0022 in Chamberford, we can go for this much amount in Chamberford, and further when we distribute, for example, 0.245 in this bond, we can say that we'll get a high Sharpe ratio and an optimized portfolio. And we come to our last slide, that is the performance matrices. We have to speak about the references when we talk that our portfolio is good or bad. We always take references, and all the numbers displayed here, Sharpe ratio, average return rate, volatility, and alpha of the portfolio that we created, are enough to justify that our investment strategy was good and generated good returns for considerable amount of risk.